welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Amethyst and I'm a first-time mom to a beautiful baby girl named Elena. I make motherhood, lifestyle, and motivational videos here on YouTube, so if that is something that interests you, please make sure you hit that big red subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss when I post new videos. I would love to have you join my FemPower here on YouTube. So today's Motivational Monday topic is how to stop comparing yourself to others. You guys, I know that with social media and the time that we're in, where you can literally see a person's life online and you can be connected with people from all over the world through the internet, it is so easy to get caught up in what someone else's life looks like, what someone else's body looks like, the materialistic things that someone has, the job or career that they have, and compare yourself. And you can go on a downward spiral in doing this. And I've had so many conversations with so many women who are comparing themselves to other people, career-wise, body-wise, personality-wise, talent-wise, and it makes me so sad, you guys, because we are all unique and we all have something that makes us special. And I don't know why, especially as women. Well, I do know why. It's because of media, and we have what society deems as the perfect body or the perfect face or the perfect skin complexion or the perfect hair, and we feel like if we don't symbolize that, then there's something wrong with us, and we try to emulate that instead of being true to ourselves. So I felt that this was a really important video to make, and you guys, please understand that I am in no way saying that I do not have a problem with comparison. I had the biggest problem with comparison. I still struggle with it, but I've gotten a lot better with it. But I myself have struggled with comparison for many years, and it got so bad that I had to take just complete breaks from all my social media, but I will get into that later in this video. But I have had so many problems with comparison. I told you guys that I was in a relationship that was just not a great relationship. It was very unhealthy, and I would compare myself to other girls because I would want, a certain amount of attention from the person that I was dating, or I would want them to treat me the way that I saw other people's boyfriends treating them. And so in this video, I'm going to give you guys 10 tips that you can do right now, today, to help you stop comparing yourself and your life to everybody. My first tip for how to stop comparing yourself and your life to other people is to think about how you feel about yourself when you go down that rabbit hole of comparing yourself. So let's say you are comparing yourself to Sally Sue down the street, and she just had a kid a month ago and her body is already snapped back, and you are still having a little bit of your mom's lab and your kid is like 10 months old. How does that make you feel about yourself when you say, oh, her body is so much better than mine, oh, she probably worked out a lot harder than me, and it makes you feel negative, it makes you feel bad about yourself, right? So think about that, write that down if you need to. You guys know I'm so big about lists and writing things down. Write down how that makes you feel as a reminder to yourself that I don't want to have these thoughts, I don't want to think like that about myself, I don't want to think negative, I don't want to put myself in a bad mood. That is going to hopefully make you stop comparing yourself when you think about how horrible it makes you feel about yourself and what kind of mood it puts you in, and it just dampens your day and puts you in a negative vibe. It will make you want to stop having those kind of thoughts, which will make you want to stop comparing yourself to other people. My second tip for how to stop comparing yourself to other people is to put the focus on self-improvement. So put the focus back on yourself. Put the focus on improving yourself. And if you're focusing on yourself, then your focus is where it needs to be. And if you're focused on becoming the best version of yourself, you won't be worried about what somebody down the street is doing, or what someone on Instagram is doing, or what someone on Facebook is doing, or whose YouTube channel is growing the fastest. You won't have time to focus on those kind of things because you're going to be too focused and locked in on becoming the best version of yourself. And there's lots of tools out there to help you focus on yourself. You can read books, self-help books, you can listen to motivational podcasts. Some of my favorite motivational podcasts are obviously Joy Harrington's podcast, Bits of Breeze podcast, Katie Elliott's She Upleveled podcast, Anaya Ivy has a really good podcast. You guys, there is so many. I'm sure you can go on Spotify, Apple Music, and find thousands of podcasts to listen to, YouTube videos like what you're watching right now to help you motivate yourself, or just anything that you think is going to help you improve yourself. Put the focus back on yourself instead of focusing on what someone else is doing and what they have that you lack. Focus on areas in your life that you can improve yourself, and then you won't have time to focus on someone else's. My next tip for how to stop comparing yourself to others is to turn that into motivation. Turn what you consider as competition into motivation and into compliments. So you guys, I don't know what it is. I hate this, and I am not gonna lie to you guys, like I am such an advocate now for women empowerment and women coming together and us all being successful and us all supporting and uplifting each other. But at one point I did see other women as my competition, and I also think that that comes from society. They pit us against each other for men, especially for men, for jobs. And I'm not afraid to admit that I used to be that girl that felt like I had to compete for a man. First of all, if I have to compete for something, it is not for me anyways. But I hate that we feel that someone else's shine dims our own shine. So look at someone else's accomplishments as motivation, and instead of saying, what's so special about her that she could get that job, or what's so special about her that her channel, blew up super quick, instead compliment that person. You don't have to. I love to compliment other women because I love to get compliments, and again, I love to just uplift people and women, and uplift and inspire and motivate and make women feel good about themselves, because it is so hard to be a woman in today's society. So we need to all support one another. So if you don't want to specifically reach out and compliment the woman that you might feel yourself being envious of or jealous of, just start to train your mind instead to think, wow, that's so cool that she can do that. And once you start training your mind to do that, eventually it's going to become like second nature. That instead, when you would used to feel envy, you would feel proud, like, look at her. And then also think of it as, if she can do it, I can do it. I always tell you guys that if people around you are being blessed, your friends, your family, just people on YouTube, people on social media, if people in your vicinity are being blessed, instead of being envious or trying to figure out what's so special about them or what is wrong with you that it's not happening for you, first of all, remember, God's timing, not your own. I'm going to keep drilling that into you guys' head. God's timing, not your own. But second of all, that means if the people around you are being blessed, God is in the neighborhood, y'all, and you just might be next. So start thinking of it that way instead of feeling envy and jealousy. Think about it like, if she can do it, I can do it. If her channel grew in 7-8 months, I can work really hard, and it might not happen just as fast, but it can happen for me too if she can do it. So train your mind to start complimenting and start being motivated by seeing other people accomplish things that you want to accomplish, or other people have things that you want to have, instead of feeling bad about yourself, or feeling envious, or feeling jealousy, or feeling. My fourth tip for how to stop comparing yourself and your life to other people is to keep it real. Y'all, let's be honest. Sometimes the grass is greener on the other side because it's fake. Because the grass is fake. Perfect example, social media. And like I told you guys, I genuinely had to take a break from social media because I found myself spending hours on social media. I already felt really bad about myself because I was, in a situation that I did not want to be in. And I was dealing with postpartum depression, being a new mom. So I was already feeling really bad about myself, really bad about my life. And then I decided to add insult to injury and just scroll on Instagram and look at all these beautiful women who, were living out their dream, who were married, who their families were together. They had the mom and dad in the house, their bodies snapped right back. They were, killing it career-wise. And I had to take a step back. And I also had to remember that social media is a highlight reel. Most people are not putting on social media when their house is disgusting, or when their kid is throwing a temper tantrum, or when they have a fight with their husband. You guys do not know how many women might be posting a picture with their boyfriend and a cute little caption, and they look so happy, and in your head you're like, oh, relationship goals, I wish I had that. And she might be getting mentally or physically abused in real life behind that camera. You never know. I remember when I used to get so drawn into like influencers and celebrities who had like their hair and their nails done and all these designer bags, and it's like, you honestly have no idea what somebody may have had to do to get the things that they have. You don't know if they might have to sleep with someone. You don't know, like you don't know. So do not sit and go down this rabbit hole and compare yourself to what you see online or what you see for 10 to 15 minutes in a video, because you genuinely do not know. Think about how many times, again, you've probably taken a picture and you're smiling, you're cheesy, you look so happy in this picture. Someone who doesn't know you would think that you just have the best life ever, and really you just want to bust into tears. Or think about the time when you have to go to a gathering, a family gathering, or a work thing, and you would rather be anywhere else but there, but you are sitting there and you are just ha 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 with your boss and with your family, and you would rather be anywhere else in the world than being there right at that moment. It's the same thing, you guys. So keep it real and think about that what we see online, what we see in a 10-minute video, even what you might think you see from your close friends, because I know I've had friends previously who I thought had it all together and I thought they had the perfect life, and lo and behold, they have like a horrible relationship with their family, or they have a terrible relationship with their boyfriend behind closed doors. They're getting mentally and emotionally and physically abused. So you never know what someone is really going through. So that is another reason why it is so important to not get caught up in comparing yourself to what you think someone's life is, because 9 times out of 10, we really don't know what goes on in someone's everyday life, and they're not going to show the bad things. They're only going to show the good things. So if they're only showing you the good things, of course you're only going to focus on the good things and you're only going to think that good things happen to them. But we all know that is not real life. So do not go down that rabbit hole of comparing yourself to what you see online in a video, what you might see from 10 to 15 minutes of interacting with someone. My 5th tip for how to stop comparing yourself and your life to other people is to live your ideal life. Do not live the life of Sally Mae down the street. Do not live the life that your parents want you to live. Do not live the life that your best friend lives. Do not go buy a farmhouse if you like boho and modern decor. Do not live a life based on what you think makes someone else happy if it genuinely is not what you desire. You guys, life is too short to do anything other than what makes you happy. We do not all know how much longer we have with this earthly experience. So you have to make the most of it while you are here, and that means doing what you want to do, doing what you desire. Be the leading lady of your life. Know that it is so easy to get caught up in what everybody deems popular and what everybody deems trendy. You guys, I remember wanting so badly to get like designer stuff because that was what was in. And I remember feeling when, like, I don't know if you don't listen to like rap music, then you probably don't really know about these kind of problems. But there was like a time in rap music where light-skinned girls were just like the only thing that rappers talked about. And I remember feeling so like I just hated my skin color. And I remember like, I'm just so dark, I'm so ugly, I hate my skin. First of all, these rappers, they don't put clothes on my back. They don't put food in my mouth. They don't put, money in my hand. So why did I even care? Why would I let what anybody else deems as beautiful or, whatever the case is, affect how I think about myself? Live the life that you want to live. Be the person that you want to be. Do not get so caught up in what is deemed popular and trendy and the in thing that in reality you're living a life that you actually don't want to live and that doesn't bring you any type of happiness or joy. My 6th tip for how to stop comparing yourself and your life to other people is to compare yourself to yourself. You guys, my favorite thing to say and my favorite quote is, my only competition is the person in the mirror. My only competition is the person looking back at me, my reflection. My only competition is myself. So if you have that mindset to only focus on being in competition with yourself, to only focus on being better than the person you were a year ago, better than the person you were a month ago, better than the person that you were yesterday, you won't even have time to focus on what somebody else is doing and their growth in life, because you're going to be so focused on yourself and wanting to make sure that you are not staying stagnant and that you are improving in your life. That is going to be the most important thing to you. So instead of being in competition with another woman or just anybody in life, be in competition with yourself and make sure that you are growing, that you are evolving, and that you are becoming the best version of yourself, even if that means you only get 0.00001% better from yesterday to today. That is still growth, and you should focus on that instead of focusing on yourself compared to someone else. My 7th tip for how to stop comparing yourself and your life to other people is to simply name some truths about life. So you guys, we all are unique. God made us all different. He gave us all special talents, purposes, special characteristics about ourselves. And that is a beautiful thing, because why would we all want to be the same? And we should all, admire all the differences that we have. But let's name some truths about people. Number 1, we are all human. We all bleed. If we get a cut, if we get a bruise, we're all gonna bleed the same color, red. We all wake up in the morning, and 9 times out of 10, we have morning breath. We all have to go use the bathroom. We all, think Beyonce poops, you guys, just like y'all do. So the thing is, we are all human. Do not idolize anybody else. Do not feel like anybody else is better than you, because they aren't. I don't care. And I love Beyonce. I love J. Cole. I love Reese Witherspoon, but I don't feel like they are any better than me, because at the end of the day, when we all die, guess what? Either you're going to be cremated or you're going to go under the ground, and it's not going to matter how much money you had in the world. It's that kind of stuff is not going to matter when you die. It's not going to, your talents and everything, they will be things that you will be remembered by. But at the end of the day, we all still go to the same place. We all still are human. We all still believe the same. And we are all still the same in the eyes of God. God does not think any of us are any better than anyone else. He gave all of us different talents. Some of us may not have tapped into them yet, or some of us may not be doing the work to reach them and reach the goals that we want to have set for ourselves. But that is on us. That is not on anyone else in the world. So when you start to think about these things, it will make you realize that, 1, don't idolize anybody. I've said this to you guys before. Do not idolize anybody but God. God should be the only person you idolize. He should be the only idol. He should be the only person you feel like is higher than you, is superior than you. No one else that walks this earth with you, that has the same 24 hours in the day that you have, is any better than you. They might just be doing work. They might be working more than you. They might have a better work ethic than you. And then that goes back to my tip of focusing on yourself and what you can do to improve. But that doesn't make them better than you. That doesn't make their life better than yours. That doesn't make them more valuable than you. And honestly, when you think about these things, it really will make you laugh. When you think about, we're all human. When you think about Beyonce wakes up in the morning and she has morning breath just like me, it will make you realize, again, you humanize people and you realize that no one is superior and that you are just as good as everyone else. So why even compare yourself? My 8th tip for how to stop comparing yourself and your life to other people is social media. You guys, I've mentioned it throughout this video, but I wanted to make its own tip because, like I told you guys, I had to take a break from social media. And so that is my 8th tip, is that if you need to take a break from social media, take a break from social media. If you need to unfollow certain accounts that make you feel envy, that make you feel jealousy, that make you feel bitterness, that make you want to hold a grudge, that make you angry, that make you feel like you're inferior, unfollow them and do not feel bad about it. Do not apologize for it. I had to do this because I had to realize that social media can really put a damper on my mood. Or if there's someone that's always negative and they make you feel negative, the unfollow button is right there in blue. Hit the unfollow button. Or if you just don't want to, if you don't want to unfollow for whatever reason, then there's, I think, the mute button where you won't really see what they post. Then mute them. But do what you have to do for your mental health, and so that you don't go down this downward spiral and this rabbit hole of comparing your life. And make sure that you replace those accounts that you unfollow with accounts that motivate you, with accounts that make you feel good about yourself. I had to realize that I had a lot of negative and just like ignorant people that I was following, and I've unfollowed a lot of people who just made me feel like I wasn't good enough or made me feel like I was inferior, and I replaced it with women who post motivational content and motivational videos, and women who uplift and empower other women instead of women who are always gossiping or always in drama, because that was the kind of people that I was following. And I've ended up following because I felt bad about my body. I was like, instead of being jealous of other moms whose bodies have snapped back, let me follow a bunch of fitness gurus so that I can see the things that they're doing and I can apply it to my life. That goes back to, you know, putting the focus back on yourself and self-improvement. And so I follow those kind of accounts. So go through your social media and see what doesn't align with your goals and your values and the things that you desire, what makes you feel bad about yourself, what makes you feel envy and jealousy and bitterness. And also limit the time that you spend on social media. This is really important. And I know for like my influencers or, you know, YouTube, or if you use your social media to market and brand, this is really hard because I'm finding this really hard. I feel like I am on my phone and on social media all the time, but I have to tell myself it is because I am trying to make this a career and I'm trying to market myself. So that is completely different, but give yourself times throughout the day where it's like, okay, I'm gonna post and I'm gonna respond to comments for this X amount of time. Like put yourself on a block schedule or something, or tell yourself, okay, for the first hour of my day and the last hour of my day, I'm not allowed to be on social media, so that you don't spend so much time again focusing on things that 9 times out of 10 are not even real life in their face. My 9th tip for how to stop comparing yourself and your life to other people is to practice gratitude. And you guys, I say this probably in every single one of my Motivational Monday videos, but it is so important to practice gratitude and to write down things that you were thankful for, because again, it will just bring you back to reality and make you realize that you are a lot more blessed than you realize, and you have so many things to be thankful for. Instead of focusing on what someone else has that you don't have, focus on the things that you do have. Like I said in my last video, well, not my last video, but a few videos ago, when you focus on what you have becomes more and it multiplies. When you focus on what you don't have, you will never have enough. So write down things that you are thankful for. Keep that gratitude list for times where you start to feel yourself going down this rabbit hole of comparing your life or feeling inferior or feeling like you don't have enough or like you are not blessed. Keep that list so that you can quickly pull it out and you can bring yourself back to reality and remember that I am so blessed to have this life. I am so blessed to be able to go outside and get in a car and go wherever I need to go. And I'm so blessed to have this job that allows me to financially take care of myself and my family. I'm so blessed to have a bed. I am so blessed to be able to walk and talk and hear and listen. When you start to think about those things, all of like the materialistic stuff that we focus on so much, it becomes so minute and so unimportant. So practice gratitude, be thankful. You guys, I love J. Cole. He is my favorite rapper. I've gone to every single concert that he has ever had. And one of my favorite songs by him is called Love Yours. And if you ever start feeling yourself comparing yourself or feeling like your life is not good enough or you are inferior, I highly recommend that you guys listen to this song because it makes me feel so good about myself. I probably cry every time I listen to this song because he is just telling you, like the chorus is, no such thing as a life that's better than yours. And that goes back to, again, it doesn't matter if you are Beyonce, if you are a janitor, there is no life that is better than yours. There's no life that is more important than yours. So I highly recommend that you guys listen to that song. It will just remind you to be so blessed. And in the song, he even says, you ain't never gonna be happy till you love yours. And that is so true. You will never be happy if you don't learn to love the things that you have right then. There's no problem with wanting more, but you will never, if you can't be happy and content with the things that you have right at that moment, you're never gonna be happy and content with anything because you're always gonna be so focused on what you can have next and what you want more of. So always be grateful for what you have at this very moment, because trust me, there's also someone else in the world who is wishing for exactly what you have. Which goes into my 10th and last tip for how to stop comparing yourself and your life to other people, and it is to question yourself. So you guys, I'm sure that every single woman in the world has had an experience of someone coming to them and complimenting them, but it's like kind of a back-ended compliment because they are, in the same sense, insulting themselves. So you might have somebody who says to you, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. I wish I was as pretty as you. That is like, you know, I think we've all as women heard that. Or, oh my gosh, you're so talented. I wish I had that talent. I wish I could do that. I wish I was talented like you. Think about in that moment when someone says that to you, how that makes you feel. It probably makes you feel bad. It makes you feel good about yourself that someone is complimenting you and saying, oh, you're so pretty, you're so talented. But think about how that makes you feel for that person. It makes you feel sad, right? It makes you feel like, oh, this person doesn't think they're worthy. And then think about what you would say back to that person. Like for me, anytime somebody says, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, or oh my gosh, you're so talented, or I give a compliment right back, because again, I'm all about uplifting, motivating, inspiring, supporting. I want to see all of us win. I think we all have something to offer that the world needs, and there is space for all of us to kill it and to be successful and to be bosses. So I always throw compliments back, and I love, making other women feel good about themselves. So think about what you would say back to that person when they say that to you. So 9 times out of 10, if someone says, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, I wish I was as pretty as you. Girl, stop, you are gorgeous. Okay, that is probably what you're gonna respond, right? So do the same thing to yourself. Think about that in your head. When you start to feel yourself watching something or listening to something or seeing someone and it makes you feel bad about yourself, think about this. Think about this scenario that I'm telling you right now and say those things right back to yourself. Oh, I wish I was as pretty as her. No, Amethyst, you are just as pretty as her. Oh, I wish that, I was talented like that. Oh, you're talented like that. You just have a different talent that the world needs. It might not be the same one, but it's a different one. So start to train your mind to question yourself, and the things that you would say to someone else, say those things to yourself. Extend the same love to yourself that you so freely give to everyone else. And this is something that I struggle with, you guys. So please know that it takes time to train your mind, but you have to consciously really want to do these things. And this one is really, really important, because how you talk to yourself, I've told you guys before, your thoughts are so powerful. Your mind is so powerful. So how you talk to yourself is how you are going to come off to other people. So if you're always putting yourself down, if you always feel like you're never good enough, if you always feel like you're unworthy, that is going to come off to other people, and they're going to feel like you're not good enough and you're unworthy and you're not pretty enough and you're not this, that, or the third. So make sure that the same love and compliments and positivity and, just everything that you so freely give to everyone else that would make them feel so good about themselves, and the compliments, give yourself those same compliments. Write down positive affirmations that you want to say to yourself every day. I have this in a notebook, and some of the ones that I say to myself are, everything I have, I deserve, and I deserve everything and more. Good things always happen to me. I love myself and I'm confident in who I am. I love my body and I'm in the best shape of my life. And you might not mean it right then, but you fake it till you make it. And eventually, if you keep telling yourself these things and you train your mind, eventually you will start to believe them and you will start to show up as that person, as that confident person. You guys, you will miss all of the good things that life has to offer you. You will miss all of the talents and the ways that the world can use your talents and the way that you can profit off your talents and just express your talents if you spend so much of your energy and so much of your time and so much of your life comparing yourself and your life to other people. And also, if you are still here right now on this earth at this very moment, breath in your body, God has a purpose and a plan for your life, and it would hurt him so much. He might not have made you perfect, but he made you perfectly in his image, and he sees you as perfect, and he loves you just the way that you are. And it would hurt him so much to watch you sit and feel like you're not worthy enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough, you're not talented enough. It would really hurt him for him to hear you say these things. There is enough money in the world, there is enough people in the world, there is enough creativity, there is enough avenues in the world for all of us to be special, all of us to be successful. So please, please, please remember that. Please do not go down this rabbit hole of comparing yourself. Your experiences, your life, your journey are all for a greater purpose, and the world needs whatever it is that you have, whatever it is that you possess. Please do not compare your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 50. Like, I have so many of my friends, and I personally compare my YouTube channel, my views, my subscribers, my watch time, all of that kind of stuff to other YouTubers. And it's like, first of all, I've only been doing this for like a month and a few days, and the girls that I'm comparing myself to have been doing this for almost a year. And irregardless, all of our journeys are different. What might happen fast for some people may take you some time, and that is fine. It is all for the greater good and the glory of God, and it is all going to happen in His perfect timing, exactly when it's supposed to, and it is going to blow your mind when it happens. And the last thing that I want to leave you guys with is that the flower does not think about comparing itself to the flower next to it or in competing with the flower next to it. It just blooms. So you guys, bloom where you are planted. I saw this quote on Pinterest and I fell in love with it. And it was my computer screensaver forever, basically, up until I had Elena. And then, of course, as a mom, you put your kid as your screensaver on everything. But bloom where you were planted was my screensaver, and something that I just wrote down everywhere and I kept on my heart for the longest. And all that means is that your journey is your own. Be happy with where you are right now, because that is exactly where you are supposed to be. You can strive for better. That's always good to want growth and want change and want, you want to be content, but you don't want to become stagnant. There's nothing wrong with wanting more, but be grateful and be happy for where you are planted in this very moment, because this is exactly where you are supposed to be. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it gave you some insight. I hope that these tips are very helpful to you. Let me know in the comments below any tips that you guys use to help yourself to stop comparing or to, retrain and refocus yourself when you feel yourself going down that rabbit hole of comparing yourself to other people. And let me know in the comments below, again, you guys, if there's anything that I can do for you, if there's any special videos that you guys would like me to talk about, if there are any prayer requests that you have, please leave them in the comments below. Make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up so that I can continue to make these types of videos for you guys. And I hope that you all have an amazing start to your week and an amazing week. And I love you. I will see you in my next video. Bye, loves.